Ichiyo's Japanese Online Lesson.
皆さんこんにちは。私の名前はIchiyoと言います。My name is Ichiyo. I'm holding private Japanese lessons online. Can you understand these sentences? To understand Japanese, you must study many things. Today, I'll explain about our Japanese videos. You will learn how to watch our videos through this video. Then, let's get today's video started.
About our English. We'll explain about our English next. Ichiyo usually uses American English. This is because Japanese people have been learning American English after the World War II. But we have a British staff who checks Ichiyo's English. We are sorry if American English and British English are mixed.
I'm also sorry that I'm not good at pronouncing English. I don't have the opportunity to speak English except in my job. But I've been learning English every day to improve my English with my English staff. Please look forward to how I can improve my English in the future. And I'll do my best to improve your Japanese pronunciation if you are my private lesson student.
About English narrator. I'm an English narrator. In our videos, I read the English sentences instead of Japanese teacher Ichiyo so that English speakers can understand our content easily. But I can't read the Japanese language correctly. Whenever any Japanese language needs to be spoken, a Japanese native will always read them. These sentences are composed of Japanese and English. For example, I read these sentences like this.
Hiragana
And
katakana
are phonetic symbols, each representing a syllable.
kanji
Characters represent a specific meaning, idea or concept. It is said that there are around 2,100
kanji
used in everyday regular conversation. Please listen to the Japanese pronunciation carefully to be aware of the differences between English and Japanese. About vocabulary charts. In our videos, we often show vocabulary charts. This is the example of the chart. Let's look at the vocabulary.
atama
The keyword is written in the first column. In this chart, the key word is
atama
It is composed only of
kanji
If the key word is written in
kanji
it means that Japanese people usually write it using
kanji.
The second column is about
Hiragana
It represents how to read the key word. The next column is about Romaji reading. It also represents how to read the key word. The final column is about meaning. In this chart, the key word means head. A lot of Japanese vocabulary are composed of
kanji
and.
hiragana.
This is the next key word. It is read as
入る
It means enter. This key word is composed of
漢字
and.
ひらがな
The
漢字
part is read as
はい
and the
送り仮名
is
る送り仮名
is the
ひらがな
which suffixes following the
漢字
stem. This is the next vocabulary chart. It is read as
りんご
It means apple. Please look at the key word and the
ひらがな
The key word is written in
カタカナ
and the
ひらがな
is written in the chart. It means Japanese people write the key word in
カタカナ
or
ひらがな
This is the next key word. It is read as
ピザ、
it means pizza. Please look at the second column. There is a blank in the chart. In this case, it means the word is not written in.
ひらがな、
We usually write it in.
カタカナ。
About example sentences. In our videos, we show example sentences. But, when we write Japanese sentences, some vocabulary levels are mixed in them. For example, the above sentence is read as
みずみずしい、リンゴを食べました。
It means, I ate a fresh and juicy apple. The vocabulary
リンゴ、
is level 1 for beginners. And the vocabulary
みずみずしい、
is level 5 for advanced levels. Level 1 vocabulary and level 5 vocabulary are mixed in this sentence. If you can afford to study, please memorize a lot of vocabulary beyond your level. About English translations. In our videos, we show example sentences. This is an example sentence. Ichiyo writes the English translations like the above. However, depending on the sentence, some of the translations are not exactly accurate. This is because Japanese people sometimes omit the subject, possessive case, or objective case. There is less emphasis placed on these grammar structures in Japanese. This sentence is read as
寿司を食べます。
Ichiyo wrote the translation as, I'll eat sushi. But there is no subject in the sentence. The reason is Japanese people sometimes omit the subject. Japanese language is very ambiguous. Actually, we can't know the subject when we read this sentence. We have a culture that we guess the subject when the other person is talking. And in many Japanese textbooks, subjects are often omitted in the example sentences. In many cases, the subject is I when we read this sentence. That's why Ichiyo wrote I as the subject in the translation. One of today's key point is Japanese language is very ambiguous. Ichiyo wrote the English translation in the future tense. But Japanese tenses are also very ambiguous. It is said that Japanese tenses consist only of the past tense and non-past tense. Therefore, when we translate from Japanese into English, the translations are not perfect. There are two English translations when we focus on the tense in the Japanese sentence. One is, I eat sushi. The other is, I'll eat sushi. This is because Japanese tenses consist only of the past tense and non-past tense. In our videos, we only show one of the English translations. So please keep in mind, when we translate Japanese sentences into English, sometimes there are more than two translations. Next is about singular and plural. There is no plural in the Japanese language. Please look at this sentence. It is read as
ゴリラを見た。
Ichiyo wrote that the English translation is, I saw a gorilla. But there is no plural in the Japanese language. We can't know whether the gorilla is plural or not when we read the Japanese sentence. So there are two English translations when we focus on the singular and plural. One is, I saw a gorilla. The other is, I saw gorillas. In our videos, we only show one English translation, even though there are more than two English translations. When you watch our videos, please keep this in mind. Some of the English translations are not exactly accurate depending on the sentence. About conjugations in our charts. Next is about our vocabulary charts again. We show vocabulary charts of the example sentences like the one above. In the charts, we write the vocabulary in the dictionary form. In Japanese, verbs, adjectives, adjectival nouns have conjugations. This sentence is read as,
木が大きくなる。
it means, the tree becomes big. Please look at the phrase,
大きく。
the verb,
大きい。
means big, and is the dictionary form. The conjugation form of
大きく。
is called
連用形。
when the verb
大きい。
is combined with the verb.
なる。
It transforms into
大きく。
but when we read
大きく。
we can't know the correct meaning. One of the reasons is that it is not a dictionary form. When it is combined with a specific word, we can know the correct meaning. Or, if the verb is written in the dictionary form, Japanese people can know the correct meaning. Therefore, when we write a vocabulary, we write it in the dictionary form. Thank you for watching today's video. If you have difficulty watching this video, please read the textbook, Ichiyo's Japanese Textbook, Startup Guide. Only our private students can get the textbook. All explanations are written in English. Ichiyo wrote a lot of important contents to understand Japanese basics. The name of the textbook is Startup Guide. But it is also useful for intermediates. We have gotten many impressions like, I've lived in Japan for 5 years, but I found many contents that I didn't know in the textbook. If you want to know the details, please check out the link in the description.
We will keep uploading a lot of Japanese videos. When you watch our videos, please keep in mind what we explained today. それでは他の動画でお会いしましょう。さようなら。